Welcome aboard, everyone. It's time for Berg's World Live. Now, here is your host and company, Dan Berg.
Hello, and welcome to Berg's World Live. We are working a new episode today. I call it the 12th Man, and it's going to show us how the parents of high school athletes look at the game, different perspective. First up is we have Tabitha and Kevin Reifsteck. They are the proud parents of Austin, the senior at Nazareth. Awesome young gentleman. I've met him and talked to him a couple times. Great kid. We're going to talk about what they are seeing and what they've seen in the 4 years coming to an end here with Nazareth. So sit back and enjoy it. Tabitha and Kevin Reifsteck to join me. Thank you, both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Okay. Yeah, and now just to let you know, my listeners know their son, who is Austin Reifsteck, who I've talked to and met many times. He's a senior on the 10-1 Nazareth Roadrunners who play this Saturday down at Sacred Heart Griffin. But the point of this is we're going to get an angle a little different than we're used to at Berg's World Live. We're going to have a mom and a dad tell us, you know, their thoughts and feelings of the 4 years. I know the season's not over yet, obviously, but we'll start with the mom. Hey, Tabitha, tell us just your thoughts and feelings on how fast the 4 years went, and to watch him, you know, go from an eighth grader to the young successful man he is.
It has been amazing. It's happened in a blink. I'd say every day that I blinked and he became a senior in high school. Eighth grade was just the start of something awesome. He had a number of great coaches when he grew, you know, growing up and playing football as a young kid. But we ran into the Patriot organization and was under Doug DeFusco and Bob McMillan and quite a few other amazing coaches as well. And just to watch him grow and a passion that he gained during that time was amazing. Of course, he was at the time a triple sport athlete, so between basketball, football, and baseball, we were running everywhere. But I used to always say, I'm going to miss this. What am I going to do when he becomes a senior? Well, here we are, and his focus is football. But it's been amazing. He's learned so much and grown so much, and you know, challenged himself so many times. And you know, that's one thing that always amazes me about him is his ability to push and to drive a lot athletically, which to me, you know, I might say, oh my gosh, he should have gotten that, but I'm not the one out there in the field. They're the ones taking the hits and, you know, going 1,000 miles per hour. And academically, you know, he's a wonder. It's really awesome to see. So it's hard for me because I'm not ready to let go of his high school years, and you know, I struggle with it every day, but just to watch him grow as a man and as a player has been phenomenal. Completely phenomenal. So very proud of him. Yep.
You know, through my friendship with Tim Rackey, you know, he lets me kind of embed myself. I was lucky to be he let me hang around a lot in 2015. And then ever since then, I've had a chance to meet or interview quite a few actual Roadrunners. But I'll be honest with you, Austin's one of my favorites because he's always been super polite. But I'll tell you what, I haven't had one negative experience with anybody from Nazareth, and I mean that. I mean from anybody. But hey, Dad, thanks for joining us here.
He spent a couple of years in Germany. Now he's stationed out in Hawaii. So
nice. Okay.
So and then
what's his name? Who's that?
His name is Terrion.
Okay, cool. All right. Nice. Yeah. All right. And then now he's younger than Austin?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So Terrion's our oldest. Yeah. And then we have our oldest daughter Aurora, who's attending college right now, and then Austin, and then our youngest one, who's a freshman at Naz right now too. So
I didn't know. There's another Reifsteck I could saw.
Yeah, and then my brother has two that's going through Naz as well too. But
same name.
From a Naz perspective, you know, it's You know, I think as a dad, you know, you kind of live through your kid, right? So,
sure.
You know, through the Patriot organization, which at the time was run by my older brother Tim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, you know, we were able to, you know, go down to Florida twice. The first time we got third, and the second time we, you know, won the national title down there. And my son was the MVP of the tournament down there. So it was, you know, I still remember the games. It's weird for me because I kind of lived through it in football season.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, you know, he's a person he always pushes himself. This year as a senior, he took every class he's taken right now is either an honors class or an AP class. You know, and it amazes me, you know, all my kids, they get up at 4:45 in the morning. Although some days a little sluggish more than others. He gets home from practice around 7:30. He's the first one on my tail to say, "Hey, Dad, let's go work out at the gym." I'm like, "Oh, all right, here we go." So we'll go to the gym, and you know, we don't get back from there until sometimes 9:30, 9:45, and he's doing homework. And the next day, he does it all over again. I just, you know, it's very, from my perspective, it's very impressive that he's been able to keep up the workload that he does and everything else. And you know, and then of course from the classwork to the football field, everything. And, you know, I know it's probably heard a lot. But, you know, Coach Racky runs an incredible program, and you can just see the maturity in our son. You know, a lot of things that Coach Racky says that, you know, he takes to heart. And you could see it all the time. And, you know, we couldn't have been more happy than what we've been able to, you know, what our son was able to gain and understand and take that knowledge from a individual that's as just motivated as Coach Racky is. You know, he runs an incredible program, and we couldn't be more blessed to have been able to you know, fall into this into Nazareth family.
Oh yeah, he is something else. In fact, I interviewed Michael Love a couple days ago, or I'm sorry, actually Love, but I talked to Bobby Grimes, and I go, is he really as nice as he seems? You know, which I know. I mean, he is. You know, people say, oh, he can't be that. No, he is that way. He's unbelievable. I mean, you don't have 6 rings in high school in Illinois unless you know what you're doing. So obviously, Coach, he's very successful and humble, like the whole program is. You know, I mean, you know, I've you know, going back to Julian Love, Ivory Kelly Martin, Devontae Dunn, Sampleton, Weems. It's quite a group. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it to Springfield on Saturday, so I'm going to ask you to please win. because I'm going to go to the next game, and then I already have my list of road runners for next week in Austin on the top of my list to talk to. So. Oh,
that's great. But, this a quick short story about Coach Racky. My cousin actually before, you know, Coach Racky came to Nash, he was at Driscoll, and my cousin actually played on the Princeton Tigers team, which years ago they were going into I think it was the 4th round of the playoffs. They had an undefeated team, really great team, and that was the first time that they actually, you know, they ran into one of his state title teams. So at the time, I didn't know that, you know, kind of a small world. I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, now my son's playing for the coach that actually beat my cousin in the playoffs years and years ago.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I used to work for a company that was, you're talking Princeton, Illinois, obviously.
That's correct, yeah.
I used to work at a company down in Spring Valley, so I know Princeton. That's a good story, because, I mean, he's, you know, he has 4 titles at Driscoll and 2 at Nazareth. That's pretty cool. Yep. All right, let's get Mom back on to get out of this. What are you? First of all, I got to ask you a question. I love your Twitter handle. All right. And if you thought I was going to bring that up, then you don't know me that well.
No, that's okay. That's been a name since I was about 3.
You know what? That's exactly. I go. That's got to be just her lifelong nickname.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
You.
Well, okay, so our listeners know you're little booger, but that was you're only 3 at that time. All right. Well, so tell it now. I know the team is going down Friday night.
Mhm.
Are you going to head down Saturday, or what's your plans?
No, we are diehard.
Of course.
We are planning to leave the minute I get off work. The car will be packed, and we will be down there.
Nice.
And so, we'll leave the night before, have dinner, get up, not have to stress, and
right.
Get the chance to be down there early, because even then, when it's an away game, if we can get in an hour early, that's kind of how we are. So that's the plan. And, anxious, nervous. Oh man.
I know.
Praying for that win.
If you haven't ever been down to Sacred Heart Griffin, wait till you see their football field.
We've heard it's
beautiful. You guys have a beautiful field too, but this one's I think only like maybe 1 year old. It's supposed to be gorgeous.
Well, Austin came home the other day and was telling us just how beautiful the whole thing was, and how he was anxious to see it when he got down there. So lots of good things. Yep. Yeah.
Well, you got both Nazareth and Sacred Heart Griffin are two penalized, as I call them. They should not be in 6A, but hey, I don't. That's a subject for another day that I'll
Sure. Things we don't understand what happened.
Exactly. So, well, I'll tell you what, Tabitha and Kevin Reifsteck, thank you very much for this conversation. A good insight into a great football player, student, and person. I don't give my Berg's World approval to too many people, but Austin is, like I said, I always go, when Coach Racky really likes somebody, then I don't have to worry about it. And that's exactly what the case is here. So.
Oh, that's nice to hear. Thank you.
All righty. Well, when he gets home from practice and before he goes to the gym, tell him I send him my best, and, please win so I can come to next week's game.
Awesome. We'll tell him. Thank you again for having us.
Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Thank you. You guys have a good and a safe trip down there.
Great. Thank you. Have a good night.
Take care.
Berg's World Live would like to thank its guests today and remind everyone to tune in next Sunday for more of A Man Gone Wild, Dan Berg.